Hello, scholars. Today we're going to take a journey in the Sonora Desert, and you're going to listen to a read aloud called the Cactus Hotel. But first, I want to invite you to take a walk with my dad and I in the Sonora Desert. Can you find life in the Sonora Desert?
Welcome to Storytime, pals. Subscribe to keep the stories coming.
Hi there, boys and girls. It's your pal Vernon. The next story I'll be reading to you is called Guess Who's in the Desert. Here we go. All right, now on this first page it says, look closely at every illustration for a clue to help you answer the question. All right, pay attention. During the desert's sizzling heat, guess which critters you might meet. Who makes X-shaped tracks on the ground as he chases snakes and lizards around? It's you see who's? Roadrunner. All right, who climbs towering steep canyon walls and walks narrow ledges but barely falls? It's a right there on the rocks. Could it be Bighorn sheep? Good job. Who strolls along oh so slow and hides in her shell from friend and foe? It's what do you think? Look at the page. Desert tortoise. All right. Who has tufted ears and oversized paws? His tail is bobbed and he has sharp claws. It's do you see his tail anywhere in this picture? It's a bobcat. Who nests in a cholla cactus plant where she can go but predators can't? It's what do you think? Do you see the nest? It's a cactus wren. That's right, it's a bird that lives in cactus. Very cool. Who struts with top knot that bobs and sways as he guides his young ones on sunny days? It's I see his outline. Who do you think it is? Gamble's quail. Wow, have you guys ever seen a quail before? I have. Who hides beside the dusty trail, hoping to catch a strutting quail? Uh-oh, it's oh no, a diamondback rattlesnake. Those are very dangerous, you have to stay away. Who has bristly hair, grunts like a pig, and uses his lengthy snout to dig? It's what do you think? Javelina. Ooh, I've read a story about some javelinas before. Whose 8 legs are long and hairy? Some folk thinks he's super scary. Uh-oh, it's what do you think? What has 8 legs? A tarantula. Good job. Whose orange and black beady skin warns, stay away or my teeth may sink in? It's what do you think? A Gila monster. Whoa. Who can climb trees to search for prey? Her furry back is silver gray. See her up in the tree? It's a gray fox. Very cool. Who hoots from her nest in a woodpecker's hole on a saguaro that's as tall as a telephone pole? It's an, what do you think? Oh, I see it flying up there. It's an owl. Elf owl, to be exact. Whose high-pitched sounds guide her flight as she hunts nectar throughout the night? What animal flies at night? It's a long-tongued bat. Oh, whoa! Who howls a real ghostly tune beneath the glow of a full moon? Really closely seriously, do you see it up there on the mountain by the moon? It's a coyote. Finally, can you guess who runs and jumps most every day, hops, skips, and yells, "Hooray, let's play"? This should be an easy one. You and me and all our friends. The end. That was a fun little story, don't you think? Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Can you find life in the Sonora Desert? There's a Palo Verde tree. Oh, there's donkey tracks. And also quail tracks right there. Then Mrs. Johnston took these pictures of in the Sonora Desert. That is an ocotillo cactus. This is what it looks like from the top of a hill looking out over the desert. You can see one cactus, there are a whole bunch of cactus in there, and mountains. Before we get started, take a look at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. Familiarize yourself with the animals in the zoo. Find out what plants grow in the botanical garden. Let's look through the cactus garden. When you get done, come back to this video. Where is the Sonoran Desert? You can find the Sonoran Desert on Google Earth. Here is a map showing where the Sonora Desert is in the red. It's here at the top is Washington in the middle map, and that is where we live, and then Sonoran Desert is in the red down at the low part of Arizona and into Mexico. Here is a Google Earth map on the third picture. I'd love to see your Google Earth maps. Our learning target for today's lesson is I will listen to the story of the Cactus Hotel and examine this life cycle of a cactus. Our success criteria for today's lesson is I can answer the questions about the Cactus Hotel. So you'll be able to answer things like, what is the life cycle of a cactus? Where is the Sonoran Desert? How did the author use one character in the story of the Sonoran Desert cactus? Okay, and another success criteria will be I can learn 3 key details about the Sonoran Desert. So now I want you to listen to the Cactus Hotel.
It's story time. Have you ever been on a trip and stayed at a hotel? Was it a good place to rest and relax? Well, today I'm going to introduce a very special hotel. It's located in the desert. Today's book is called Cactus Hotel by Brenda Z. Giberson. Let's explore this hotel together. On a hot, dry day in the desert, a bright red fruit falls from a tall saguaro cactus. Plop! It splits apart on the sandy floor. 2,000 black seeds glisten in the sunlight. When the air cools in the evening, an old pack rat comes out and eats the juicy fruit. Then he skitters across the sand. A seed left clinging to his whiskers falls off under a Palo Verde tree. It is a good place for the seed to drop. A spotted ground squirrel looking for something to eat does not see it. A house finch chirping high in the Palo Verde, does not see it. After many dry days, a heavy rain falls on the desert. Soon, a young cactus sprouts up from the ground. Slowly, slowly, the seedling grows. The Palo Verde protects it from the hot summer sun and cold winter nights. After 10 years, the cactus is only 4 inches high. It is just big enough for desert ants to climb its spiny sides. After a rainstorm, when the desert blooms with color, the cactus pulls in water with its long roots and looks fat. A young pack rat stops to drink the water that drips off the tree. Then she scurries off, looking for a dry place to make a nest. When there is no rain, the cactus uses up the water it has stored inside and looks thin. The Palo Verde loses its tiny leaves, but there is always some shade for the cactus below. After 25 years, the cactus is 2 feet tall. A jackrabbit cools off beside it and gnaws on the green pulp. But when a coyote moves in the distance, the jackrabbit disappears into a nearby hole. After 50 years, the cactus stands 10 feet tall and looks straight and strong beside the old Palo Verde. For the very first time, brilliant white and yellow flowers appear at the top of the cactus. Every spring from now on, the flowers will open for one night only and then close in the heat of the day. They beckon like a welcoming signal across the desert. At different times of the day and night, birds, bees, and bats come for the nectar. The flowers dry up, and after a month, the bright red fruit, filled with black seeds, is ripe and ready. A Gila woodpecker comes to eat. He looks around the cactus and decides to stay. He has found the perfect place in the desert to begin a new hotel. The woodpecker goes right to work, and the only tool he uses is his long, hard beak. Tap, tap, tap. He bores into the flesh of the cactus. Tap, tap, tap. He digs deep inside to make a space that is comfortable and roomy. The cactus is not harmed. It forms a tough scab all around the hole to protect itself from drying out. The woodpecker gets a weatherproof nest that is shady on hot days and warm and insulated on frosty nights. And the cactus gets something in return. The woodpecker likes to eat the insects that can bring disease to the cactus. After 60 years, the Cactus Hotel is 18 feet tall. To add more space, it begins to grow an arm. A woodpecker has a new hole in the trunk. Farther up, a white-winged dove makes a nest on the arm. And down below, an old hole is discovered by an elf owl. The birds feel safe, living high up in a prickly plant where nothing can reach them. All around the desert, there are holes of every size for ants and mice, lizards and snakes, rabbits and foxes. After 150 years, there are holes of every size in the cactus too. The giant plant has finally stopped growing. It is 50 feet tall, with 7 long branches. It weighs 8 tons, about as much as 5 automobiles. Everybody wants to live in the Cactus Hotel. Birds lay eggs and pack rats raise their young. Even insects and bats live there. When one animal moves out, another moves in. And every spring they come for a special treat of nectar and juicy red fruit. Finally, after 200 years, the old cactus sways in a gust of wind and falls with a thud to the sandy floor. Its great thorny arms crumble in the crash. The creatures that lived up high must find other homes. But those that prefer to live down low move right in. A millipede, a scorpion, and many ants and termites quickly find homes in the toppled hotel. After many months, all that remains are the wooden ribs that supported the cactus while it stood so tall. A collared lizard dashes over the top, looking for insects. A ground snake puddles in the shade below. And all around there is a forest of cacti, slowly growing in the desert. Through hot and cold, wet and dry, some will survive long enough to become other cactus hotels. Did you notice how the desert animals needed a place to rest when they got tired? They used the giant cactus as their hotel in the desert. How do the animals help the cactus? That's right. They help protect it by eating the pests that could harm the cactus. It's a good way to help each other. I hope you enjoyed visiting the Cactus Hotel with me. Until next time, bye!
Some questions that you will answer are, did the author record the life cycle of a cactus? What do you think, kids? I heard that different times throughout this Cactus Hotel book told you what was happening with the cactus. Can you remember? Like, slowly, the seedling grows. After 50 years, the cactus stands 10 feet tall, straight and strong, beside the old Palo Verde. After 60 years, the Cactus Hotel is 18 feet tall. To add more space, it begins to grow an arm. When it becomes very old, it grows 7 arms. After 150 years, there are holes of every size in the cactus, and the giant plant has finally stopped growing. It is 50 feet tall with 7 long branches. It weighs 8 tons. Finally, after 200 years, the cactus sways in the gust of wind and falls, thud, to the floor. Did the author record the life cycle of a cactus? I think so. Did the author write mostly about one character? Yeah. Name 3 details that you learned about cactus from the Arizona Museum. You're going to have to look those up and let me know what those are. How do the animals help the cactus? They eat the insects that would hurt the cactus. and they pollinate the cactus so it can help, so the animals help it grow. Where is the Sonoran Desert? Did you look it up on Google Maps? You will have to look it up and let me know, where is the Sonoran Desert located? If you'd like to, you can listen to the story Nobody Hugs a Cactus, just for fun. Our learning target and success criteria is: I will listen to the story Cactus Hotel and examine the life cycle of a cactus. Our success criteria for today's lesson is: I can answer questions about the story Cactus Hotel. And I will learn 3 key details about the Sonora Desert. You can find those details on Google Maps, or you might be able to find them on Google Earth, or you might be able to find them in the Arizona Museum. Boys and girls, I'd like to thank my production crew, Norma and Daryl Ritz, which they are pictured here, for taking me around the desert and showing me the fabulous beauty and how much growth and life there is out in the desert. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Keep and happy learning.